Parshat Bishalach, entering Tu B'Shvat, the holiday of realizing that trees are human beings and that nature is not a coincidence, but it's a Kabbalistic revelation of God, which is why the Kabbalists celebrate Tu B'Shvat, and they realize that nature is not concealing but revealing God. So let's find this in our Parsha. Hiratzon Parshat Bishalach 5784, davening for our redemption of all the tears, redemption of all the pain, and a revelation of Geulah Bimheira B'Yameinu. We know the story of Kriyat Yam Suf, but the story immediately after introduces us with the greatest question. What now? Mitzrayim is gone. Hamas is over. Bezrat Hashem. The enemies, Bezrat Hashem, are destroyed. But what now? Was that the story? Was the secret? Was the message just to run away from? So we get immediately after to Marah. What is Marah? It's a name of a place that introduced water again, and the time that they see the water for the first time, it's bitter. What do? Complain. And if the water is bitter, then I ask myself, what's the problem? Bitterness. So how do we solve bitterness? And the answer is sugar. The opposite of mar is matok. You want to put in honey, you want to put in sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, sharkoch. You'll solve the problem. But that's not Hashem's solution. He teaches Moshe Rabbeinu that there's a tree. Vayorehu etz. What does that mean to teach a tree? Let's get there in a second. Vayashlicheu. He throws it into the water. But if the water is bitter, why is the solution to throw a tree inside? Maybe the problem was not the water. The problem were the way that the people perceived it. They perceived it as a situation of bitterness, and that they knew the problem. What do? They give it over to someone else. They pass the baton to someone else. They don't realize that that tree is identical to them. It has air and potential and abilities. But Hashem says, don't look at it, learn it. Learn that the goal of the tree is not to have abilities, but to transform the ability into a responsibility. And the tree will jump out from its comfort zone. It will lift itself from where it knows, and it will jump into the freezing cold water. And then the water will change, because the problem wasn't the water. The problem was that the tree wasn't willing to jump in. Hashem says, Chaver, you are the tree. You think that the problem is the problem when the problem is the way you view the problem. The problem is Hashem opening up the door and saying, you are my presence. You are my gift to the world. Act like it. Jump in, solve it, change it. Do not watch it. Bezrat Hashem, the story of what now, that we realize that only redemption is when you become a redeemer and not someone who complains and waits for others to pull them out of their problems.